What up, everybody? It's this Lily. You know who it is. This is Parker Bro Ish talking on TikTok. I am hosting the Ish We Talk like I always do. We're going to be talking about Jussie Smollett. We're going to talk about Big Uncle Snoop Dogg. We also going to be talking about the controversy between Funky Dineva and Tamar because it's some extra. Shout out to Travis Hunter having a baby. If that's his baby, but we'll get into it. And then big shout out to Taylor and Travis for going ahead and tying the knot, man. We're going to be talking about all this tonight on the Ish We Talk, and I want y'all to be present for it. And as always, take care of yourself and others.
You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star review so we can continue to give you the Ish that we talk. And now that is out the way, I will not act like I'm on AM fucking radio. What the fuck's the deal, all of you ugly motherfuckers? What's poppin'? I'm here with you. We here together. We gonna make this shit pop.
What up, what up, what up? You know who it is. I've already got the pleasantries out the way, man. You know, I am Lily. Big shout out to Twitter. Big shout out to Twitch. I am on TikTok live right now. So big shout out to TikTok. I don't have to give myself anything, but I always want to give a round of applause and a shout out to the lady that pushes the bells and the whistles. The baddest MO that you're going to see in front of you, 6 foot of do-gooder. The lady that makes sure that the interwebs know who I am. So let's give a round of applause for my cousin, my friend, and my co-host, Lindsay.
Hi, everyone. How's it going?
And again, this is the Ish That We Talk. I am currently trying to figure out this little thing on my phone so I can get some likes up on this TikTok.
So me and you both. Guys, this thing is definitely weird. It looks like it's working, but then it ain't working. I'm so confused. There we go. Now it's working.
It's working.
Now we cooking with grease.
There we go. It only made it. It's like, okay, there we go. We going slow.
Yeah.
But anyway, we gonna make it happen. We gonna make it happen, Kevin. We gonna make it happen. If this don't work for me, you know, I always hit the my finger on it. I pop.
Right.
You know, I be on that type of time sometimes.
Yep.
I don't know if I gotta angle it a certain way.
I don't know. I just make sure that it's that I can do it, that it's working. Once I make sure it's working, then I'm like, okay, it's the thing. It's not TikTok.
Right.
So
I'm trying to see what it do. What I realize is what it don't do is I got it on 3. It won't go past 3.
Yeah, mine won't go past 3 either. And this is stuff that we should have did pre-production. Ha!
It don't matter.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
It really is. Oh well.
Don't make it pop off. But what's the deal, man? What's going on? How's your life? How is your wealth, your health? What's the deal, my dog?
You know, nothing much. Just living a life. How about you? How's it going on your end?
Oh man, everything is copacetic. If you guys are privy to the Missouri that I live in, I went to Independence for what's that festival called? Santa Calagon Festival in Independence, Missouri.
Okay. How was that?
It was really dope. It's just like an onslaught of like different vendors and food trucks everywhere. It was popping. It's in downtown Independence. If I would tell anybody, if you ever wanted to go out there, man, go out there. I tried my best not to pay for $1,000 turkey leg, but Jasmine convinced me to do it.
Oh, okay. How was it?
And it was good. I'm not even gonna lie.
You
It was good.
know, they look good. They just look intimidating.
No, they look good. Now, um, the next time I'll get a because it was a barbecue spot that was selling them. If I go out next year, I'll go to and
Mhm.
get one from the barbecue spot
Okay.
just to see what they were because they had the loaded ones with like mac and cheese and all that. I was like, yeah, that looked like something I want to get into.
Yeah. Yes. That the sound of that is just very intimidating.
Intimidating. Why is it
Yeah.
intimidating?
Because that's a lot of food.
It is a lot of food.
Yeah. So I would probably have to share it with like 2 or 3 people. Not
Oh
gonna
no,
hold
I'm knocking that off.
you. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm gonna have to share that.
That's gonna be an all day event for me though.
Yeah. And then
I'm,
you gonna want to go to sleep because don't turkey make you want to go to sleep?
yeah, that's why I didn't eat it. I started snacking on it while I was there it goes, popping. I started snacking
Hmm.
on it when I was leaving it, and I was like, you know what, I ain't gonna eat no more of it until I
Hmm.
get to relax and chill out. Then I'm gonna start fucking with it, fucking with
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I went to St. Louis Thursday, and I took the train this time, and that was an experience that I enjoyed.
it. Yeah, how
Now,
was it? How did the seats feel?
the seats are fine. We ended up getting a seat that was like a 4-person seat, and we had a big table. But if we were to have gotten like a 2-person seat, they do have the pull down tables. So, but it was just me and my friend Sharonda, and so we was like spread out, because it was a 4-person seat that faced each other.
Mm.
So yeah, yeah. So we was cool. It was supposed to be 5 hours there, 5 hours back, but we ran into some freight trains with Union Pacific, and so they like to keep a distance between them, and they have to switch tracks and all that kind of stuff. So we had to pause at one of the stops. Well, we had to pause at 2 different stops actually. So we ended up being like about an hour and a half late, and then coming back, we were delayed about 35 minutes. So um yeah, but it was a cool experience. It was my first time on the train, and it doesn't feel like 5 hours. I don't know if it's because we were talking the whole time or what, but excuse me, it didn't feel like 5 hours at all. And it was smooth. It was smooth. They have several stops. We didn't get on at Union Station though. We got on at Independence, and yeah, I probably won't pick getting on at Independence again,
Okay.
because Independence it reminds me of when Ray Charles, the movie Ray, when he was getting picked up and he was standing there with his ticket out, and the guy had to come get him from the bus. Like, it reminded me of that. Like, it was just very like deserted, and it was just like in the middle of nowhere. Like, we had to go through a neighborhood to get to it.
Wow.
Yeah, like, and then when we got there, because our train leave left at 9 o'clock. So I was like, I don't know how trains operate, so let's get there an hour early. So we get there, literally nobody is there except for one person that's working. And he's not even working for Amtrak. He's working for somebody that's doing like construction. And so um we couldn't go in the building because the building was closed for maintenance. So we was like, well, let's find the guy that we just saw. So we found him, and he told us, he was just like, yeah, you just stand right here, and wait for the train to come. He was like, the train's gonna come though, but he was like, if you leave, that train will probably be here 5 minutes and then leave. So you might want to wait for him. But yeah, he was just like, it's real simple. You just get on the train. So we was like, oh, okay. So yeah. And then he told us that they not even gonna open the building for Amtrak. Again, it's gonna be open for something else. So yeah, if you get on in Independence, use the bathroom somewhere else before you go there. So, but yeah, and then he was right. Like the train came, the man was so nonchalant, he didn't even check our tickets. But coming back, the man was on point with his job. When I tell you, he was checking them tickets and he was telling you where to go and uh, checking extra and making sure that you weren't having anything loud without your headphones. And like that man was on his job. So, and he was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "We going to Kansas City." He was like, "No, you're not. You're going to Independence." I was like, "Oh, you know what? You show right. I am going to Independence." Right. So yeah, yeah. So it was definitely an experience, but yeah, I probably won't do Independence again. I'll probably do Lee Summit or just go to Union Station and do Kansas City. I don't know, but yeah. But other than that, it was real good times. We hooked up with my family down there, and we went to the Great Game Show, and we did that. That was real fun. And then we ate at an oyster bar, and then we ate brunch at this place over in Illinois called Eckert's, and then we came on back. So, and then we stayed at Hollywood Casino, and that was nice.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were supposed to go see Bone, but we made the best of it. So yeah, that was
That's
that.
what's up. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. So yeah.
Because I rode the train when I was a kid, so I don't remember anything about riding the train.
Oh yeah.
So I always say I haven't rode the train because I rode it when I was very little,
Hmm.
and that was my mama leaving. I think it was from Tulsa, Oklahoma to here,
Oh, okay.
and I think I was maybe like 4 or 5. So I don't remember none of that experience.
Hmm.
So I'm
Okay.
like, but when you said you was taking the train, I was like, oh, okay, because I was seeing how they advertise how they'll take you across certain spots for a certain fee where you could just actually just like if you got the money, jump in, jump off, bop, 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 and like really like see like all the ambiance of what it is to be on the train and then certain spots that they stop at you can enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when we were going there, the conductor was like, we gotta stay here for a while so y'all can get off, smoke a cigarette, blah blah blah. So it was quite a few people that were doing that and whatnot, because of the whole, freight situation that we were encountering. And but they got like a cafe area. So we saw a lot of people coming back to their seats with like food and stuff. And then they serve alcohol too. But we didn't get up outside of going to the bathroom. And then the bathroom's pretty clean.
Oh,
So
that's what's up.
yeah. Right. Cause I normally don't try to go on the bathroom on planes. I'm probably outside of international flights. I probably used the bathroom on a domestic flight one time in life because I'll just be like, I'll hold it. If it's that deep, I'll hold it. But I really don't want to get up.
I'm using that.
Yeah.
It's not a single time that I am not going to use the bathroom.
Yeah, on an international flight, I'll use the bathroom because it's just, I'm not holding it for no 15 hours.
Yeah, I'm not. It is no way in the world I'm doing any of that nature.
Yeah. Yeah. But if it's like a 2-hour flight, I'll hold it. So, but then I try to use the bathroom before I get on too. So, but yeah, the train bathroom was pretty clean. So I was pleasantly surprised with that. But yeah, it was a good experience. I'll definitely do it again. I have a $100 credit, so
Okay.
yeah, so I definitely would do it again. And then like the excuse me, the route that we took was a route that starts in Kansas City and ends in Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty cool though. But like it stops in Independence, Lee Summit, Warrensburg, Jeff City, Sedalia, and then a bunch of other places I ain't never heard of. So yeah. It has some frequent stops and they're like in neighborhoods and stuff like that. And we was watching, we was looking out the window and stuff, and like some of the houses were like sitting right there on the train tracks. And I was like, could you imagine? Like, I would never buy a house this close to the train track. I'm like, I know that shit loud. The property value is probably low,
So
but
I'm about to say it was probably a nice ass house that would didn't cost much.
yeah, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. And then they out in the middle of these hick towns in the middle of nowhere, like, and they just sitting right there on the train track. I'm like, oh, hell no. There's no way. But maybe that was like a hot commodity back in the day when the houses were built. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't say that, but I will say like when that big train push was going through, people wasn't leaving
Mhm.
their houses because they know what I'm saying. They just like nah, like I ain't about to do that because you know your property value is like your taxes is gonna be cheap.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'll pay the five. Look, I'll pay the five. Hell no. Absolutely not.
Like
But
I would be cool with it. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
yeah, yeah. But
To
the
figure out the schedule, and I would learn how to work with that schedule.
yeah, yeah. That is a way that you can do it, but I'll pay the five. I ain't got time. But
And
yeah.
if I can give me a $350,000 house that they want to give away for 80 grand because it's over there by the train track, yeah, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and do that.
Now, yeah. Yeah, I'm no fool. $80,000 for a 350 house? Yeah. And it looked like a $500,000? Yeah. I
Yeah, I'm gonna
ain't no
do that with
fool.
no hesitation.
Yeah, yeah, I
It's
ain't
like
no fool.
them niggas that stay out in Cali. I forgot where it is, but it's by the airport.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh,
them houses look really fucking nice, and I know they got them for dirt fucking cheap because it's by the fucking airport.
which airport? You talking about LAX?
Yeah,
That's LAX is in Inglewood. So probably them houses in Inglewood.
yeah, and it's some nice houses. Though. I'm talking about
Yeah.
nice ass house, and I'm like yeah, you gonna hear a flight, you gonna hear a couple of flights
Shit.
all the
You
time.
want to get used to that shit.
You gotta get used to it. Like that's just the thing. Shit,
Yeah.
come on, man. I'm from the town. I get used to gunfire at night. I will get used to a fucking plane.
Yeah. I don't know. I
I
don't know
grew
if I
up in
get
the
used to
'60s.
any of that. That's
I
why
grew
I'm
up in the
out here.
'60s. So we and growing up in the '60s, you're gonna hear gunfire from the '50s and the '40s, sometimes from the '30s. Shit, you gonna hear a wreck right off the highway.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking about terrible. I just heard a matter of fact while I'm talking shit earlier today. As soon as I pulled in, I'm getting my son in the house, and all of a sudden we hear boom, and then we hear a crazy commercial, crazy people just like screaming and wop wop wop, and then you see a ball of smoke coming up, and all you hear is
Yeah.
sirens, and I'm like, yeah, somebody probably died.
Yeah. Probably so. Yeah.
Like it was a crazy commotion. Like
Yeah.
it was all you heard was it sounded like people was yelling at each other, and I was like, oh, that it sounded terrible, and then you seen the big ball of black smoke come up.
Mm.
And it like covered the whole hood. Like the whole hood was
Yeah.
smoking for about an hour or two.
Mm.
Damn. Like I hope everybody got out of whatever they was in.
Right. Right. Hopefully so, because that sounds horrible.
It was crazy. It sounded like a bomb. I don't know if niggas was doing, but you know, around here ain't no telling what people do. Remember a couple years ago in the 70s, that nigga had that meth lab that blew up.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I don't know if you know, but there used to be this bar called Buddies that was on Main. It was a gay bar.
Yeah, I remember Buddies.
Yeah. So the owner of Buddies passed away because his boyfriend was cooking meth and the house exploded. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember Buddies went through a couple of names, but how I remember Buddies is because telling y'all the real truth. This is on my son, y'all. My older sister, she jumps ship whenever she wants to. One day she's gonna decide to like dudes. One day she's gonna decide to like women. That's just my sister, and I love my sister for everything she is. But at one point in my high school years, me and my sister had the same fucking fade. We both wore Caesar haircuts. Me and my sister got the same daddy, so we look alike.
I ain't never lied.
I'm talking about look,
sound alike and everything.
Yeah, we look alike, sound alike, walk alike, talk alike, all that. We're the same height, and they believe that I'm short and she's tall. Like this is what we lived through. It was a lot of people that it was funny to me because people were saying that they seen me at a gay bar, and then I had to turn around and be like, well, why were you there? You know what I'm saying? Because you keep on saying y'all seen Troy at a gay bar.
Right.
But how did you see Troy at a gay bar if you wasn't in the gay bar?
Right. Make it make sense.
And why didn't you approach Troy?
Right.
Because y'all knew it wasn't Troy. Y'all knew it was my sister, but y'all wanted to make that rumor. And it's fine. That's cool. It was no sweat off my brow, no edge off my reputation. I was still doing my thing because I kept on throwing that back at niggas. Like, this nigga said he see me at a gay bar. Why was he there?
Right. Well,
we didn't even think about that. Yeah, think about it. When people start telling you shit, start going into the real picture of what the fuck they talking about.
Right. So, yeah, you definitely have to throw it back on people because they be trying to hit you with that, but you got to hit them with that on our reverse. You know.
Yeah, that was a whole thing because if you really seen Troy at a gay bar, you wouldn't be telling people you seen Troy at a gay bar. Let's just keep it 100. If you wanted to shoot me down on some shit and make it seem like I was a certain way, which ain't nothing wrong with being gay. But instead of trying to throw me under the bus because you don't want to live your truth, the shit got backfired on you because everybody knows who my sister is. And at that time, everybody knew what my sister was doing. Her girlfriend was prominent, so they was like, "Nah, that was Toya and Nene."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, I seen Troy. If you seen Troy, what the fuck was you doing over there?
Right. And don't say I was driving past because no, you.
Yeah, don't nobody believe that bullshit.
Right, like stop it, stop the cap. Excuse me, but you know how folks do.
Yeah, you just wanted to get me before you thought I was gonna get you. Joke's on you, nigga. That was my sister.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
That was that was the thing that was funny to me because I was like, what? Like, get the fuck out of here. You know, back then, I'm 40 plus now, but at 17, nigga, I couldn't grow any of this shit. I didn't grow hair into my arms or anything until I was like 19 years old. I think I don't know if it's like the Indian or the Cuban in my family, but I was baby face. Like I was making them shave like when I was getting my hair cut, I was making them pay with them little baby hairs to make it look like I had a beard. Because I was a real clean face kid.
Yeah, it's so funny because like my nephew, when his facial hair started coming in, he was like, "I got a mustache." I used to be like, "Huh? Let me see."
Yeah.
He's like, "Come here, let me
Even my senior school pick, I tried to make them put me a mustache on as much as possible. I look at that shit now and I'm like, you can barely see that fucking shit. They scraped the shit out of my face to show a little bit of something.
Right. And it's so funny because when you look at yearbook pictures now, the kids with the mustaches and stuff, they look a good 35 years old.
Yeah.
They look so old. But yeah. So, are you ready to get into these topics?
Let's get into these topics, man.
All right. So let's start off with good news. Congratulations are in order for Mr. Travis Kelce and Miss Taylor Swift. They are now engaged. So, it came with mixed reviews. Some people truly believe that this is still a publicity stunt. And then some people are, truly happy for them. Some people believe that this might be a distraction for this new season that's starting. And then some people believe that that whole black scent shit he was playing in our face this whole time. Like, he want to dibble and dabble with the black women. He's attracted to them. He want to, dip his toe in there. But did he really honestly want to pursue those women and actually like procreate with those women? No. So it just looks like at the end of the day that he was just playing in our face. And now this is what he's truly wanted, and this is truly him. While people was, giving him all types of excuses for, playing in black people's faces. However, you may look at it, they're engaged. So what are your thoughts?
I honestly feel like that was a dig towards me.
No.
But I digress. Congratulations, though.
Yeah.
Or in order. Because I will say this, with all of my heart, the woman that he was with, now you don't never have to worry about helping him pay his bills. He's with a billionaire. All he asked for you to do is just go half on the bills. And you thought it was a problem with that. And now you see he's with somebody that he don't have to pay for shit. And that's not saying that Travis is going to live that life, but I'm just saying, with some women, you got to understand what he was trying to do and what he was trying to show you was, hey, if you making money and we making money, let's not only make money together, but contribute together. And he found somebody that can contribute not only the equal amount that he's doing, but even more. So on just a shout out to man, I got to give Travis the utmost respect for that. Also, liking black women and being white doesn't necessarily mean that you have to marry a black woman. And it's a lot of niggas I know that like black girls, but end up with white women. And it's one of those things. It's whatever is comfortable for you at the time. People got to understand that everybody's standards are going to change as they get older. Everybody's preferences are going to change as they get older. Even if it was a whole facade, at the end of the day, who the fuck cares? He didn't leave nobody as a single mother. He didn't have no fucking controversy except the whole he was dating black women. That's just it is what it is. It's a bunch of white men dating black women right now, turn around and marry white women in the end. That's not controversy. That is just, hey, at one point in my life, this is what I'm gonna do. I like my coffee black, and then as I got older, I'm gonna put some cream in that bitch. It just is what it is. Can't get mad at that man for that, and you can't get mad for him at the end of the day marrying somebody that he fucks with and it's also a powerhouse. If not a, I ain't even gonna say if not. That is also a bigger powerhouse than him. Um, that's that's basically bossing up in every move in any way, shape, or form. I think people are mad at it, or people are giving controversy about it because of what Travis Kelce has always represented. And then on the top of what Travis Kelce is showing now. Because Travis Kelce always represented that white dude that had to pass to the cookout. Now Travis Kelce is showing you the white dude that got to pass to the cookout that bringing his super white bitch to the cookout too.
But she's not invited. She'll never be invited.
And that's what you say. But it's a bunch of raisin eating black women that is going to invite Taylor Swift to the cookout.
No, but
you
I
know that, and I know that.
But I gatekeep it, and she will never be invited. Not until she sends that edible arrangement to Kanye West, and I'm gonna stand on that. She owes him.
At this point in time, us as black people, we can't even invite Kanye to the cookout.
I didn't say that I was
keep
going
it
to invite him.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. As soon as you invite him to the cookout, he's gonna turn around and be like, "Hey, let me tell you why I like Hitler so much." And then that's.
I didn't say that I was going to invite him. I did not say that. What I said was, she won't even be a thought of consideration until she sends that edible arrangement to Kanye West. Up until that point, she will never, ever, 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 ever be a thought of consideration to be invited to the cookout.
To your cookout.
Period. I will be protesting at every meeting. The third Wednesday of the month, I will be there with my picket sign, and I will veto every request. She is not invited. What has she done to be invited?
Marry Travis, and Travis got a pass to the cookout.
Travis only got a pass when he started doing the Dougie and was dating black women.
Yeah,
and only in Kansas City will he be considered to have a pass. You go outside of Kansas City, they don't fuck with him like that.
Now
they don't.
You can say that, but then I'll give you this.
Mm-hmm.
White people got to do the bare minimum to get invited to the cookout any fucking way.
And we have.
Let's just keep it clean. All they got to do is shuck and jive a little bit, act like they cool with everybody, they culturally appropriate, and then they get a pass. The only white person that got a genuine pass to be at the cookout, may she rest her sweet soul in heaven, is Betty fucking White. And that's because she just kept it real.
Yeah, and she did a lot of, she did things for civil rights or whatever. But yeah, I do agree with you. At a certain point, people was just like haphazardly inviting folks to the cookout if they shuck and drive for 2 seconds on the internet. I give you that. However, I have been seeing a recent trend because I am one of the people that started the trend of why are y'all inviting every fucking body to the cookout? Just because you can stay on beat and it doesn't look like you're counting, you don't get an automatic invite. No. You got to do a lot more than just know a Young Dolph verse to get invited. No, we're not doing this. No more. So I will be there every third Wednesday with my picket sign saying that everybody does not get an invite.
Okay, so let's take this left before we get on these topics.
Mm-hmm.
We love to take lefts.
Right.
What white person would you consider available to be at the cookout. Like you gonna be like, boom, here go your pass. Go ahead and get those real beans, not those fucking canned beans that y'all be making at your shit.
That one lady that used to go on all the talk shows and stuff and talk about race relations, she has a unlimited pass because she kept it
Oh, okay,
1,000.
yeah.
She kept
I'll
it
give you that.
1,000. She keeps it more real than most black people. Like let's just keep it real right here. You know, she would have an unlimited pass. Um, I would say anybody that we really see doing the real work. You know, not just when you feel compelled.
So
You
Bernie
know,
Sanders gets a pass.
Bernie Sanders, I would give him a pass.
You got to. He was right there in the movement.
Yeah, I would give him a pass 100%. Um, you know, certain people who I wouldn't say that, like, you know, when it's overt, we'll call it out, but I'm saying the people that actually acknowledge microaggressions and will call it out before you. Maybe they won't get a pass, but I'll take them a plate.
You take him a play.
I'll take them a plate. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, just because you know a Young Dog verse, you don't automatically get an invite. No. Just because you see a bunch of kids getting slaughtered and now you feel compelled to do something. When we've been telling you for decades that man, woman, and child have been getting slaughtered. No, you don't get an invite. Now all of a sudden that you feel compelled to do something, and all you're doing is putting up a post on social media saying that you feel compelled to do something. No, do whatever, but no, you still don't get an invite.
I
I'm
give you that.
gatekeeping. I'm gatekeeping. Feel however you want about what I'm saying. I don't give a damn. I'm gatekeeping because we have to protect our space, and it's okay to have our space. That's the thing. People want to try to shame you for having a space. No, everybody needs their safe space, and we have our space. Our space is the cookout. We should be safe in that space. We should be unapologetic in that space, and we shouldn't be judged in that space. So our safe space needs to be protected.
I give you that. I
Yeah,
100% give you that.
yeah. So point blank in the period. I remember a few years ago when Ace Hood and his wife was on Love and Hip Hop Miami. His wife, who's biracial by the way, but she identifies as a black woman. She looks like you wouldn't know that she's biracial until you saw her mama.
Yeah.
But she was creating spaces for black women. But she was friends with Noriega's wife, who is of Latin descent. And when she went, I think she went out to lunch one time with Princess and Noriega's wife and Asa's wife. She talked about creating this space, and it was for black women only. Now she did events that were different focal points or whatnot, but her upcoming event was for black women only. And Noriega's wife took offense to it. Then went and told her husband, mind you, Noriega is biracial himself. His mom is black, however. And he gonna say, well, you married to a black man, you got black kids. What the hell they got to do with the price of tea in China? Like, are you kidding me? And they was really trying to make it an issue, and it's just like, no. At the end of the day, this event that I am hosting is specifically for black women. We have to have our space. And furthermore, she ended up making this event specifically for black women because when it was for women, period, she had quite a few black women saying, this is great, but I would love for you to create a space specifically for Black women. So that's what she did. And now all of a sudden, because you're not included in the one thing that you're not included now, all of a sudden it's a problem. You want to make it an issue. Girl, go create your own space for Latino women. I'm not gonna feel no ways tired. And it was a big controversy when that episode aired and that whole situation played out. Yeah, it was a big controversy online about that. And that's the thing. It's okay to have a all inclusive space, but then it's also okay to have a very specific space. And it's okay if you don't fit that mold.
Yeah,
That's okay. We have to normalize stuff being okay.
we do.
And that is my TED talk.
That is your TED. I give you that. I give you that.
Yeah.
But I'll say for the cookout,
Yeah.
getting on the cookout, I'll tell you, people, the only people that I had, the only white people that I will give a pass to actually be there,
Mm-hmm.
would be again Betty White, rest in God's glory of heaven and true. Bernie Sanders, and Robert De Niro. Those are the only three. Now, with that being said, people I will give a plate to, people are probably not gonna like this, but I will get. I'll drive to Gary Oldman's house and give him a plate. I wouldn't necessarily invite him, and the reason why I wouldn't necessarily invite him to it, because he has Black children. He married a Black woman. He had another baby with a Black woman. He loves Black women. Know what I'm saying? That's his thing.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I wouldn't invite him. It's because of how people will react to him.
How would people react to him?
A lot of people don't like that he told the truth about his ex-wife.
What truth did he tell?
The truth about how she was really trying to just backstab him and get extra money on the back end. How she didn't want to sign those papers. Everybody criticized him for talking about Black women. No, I'm just talking about one in particular. And that's the one I had babies with that don't fucking like me.
So, what I didn't follow his divorce closely, but what I do know is that because of the divorce, he started to have an estranged relationship with his kids with his wife or ex-wife now. And one of them his son he just recently reconnected with, but the daughter he still has no relationship with. So what specifically is the reason why the kids turned on him?
The mother. And it's one of those things where, because he's a white man, people are criticizing him for that. And I've had this conversation with plenty of people about this. And I've told them, like, when it's a Black man and a Black woman that goes through this, and people y'all can browbeat me all y'all want to, but I've seen this happen in real time. With a Black man and a Black woman, they get a divorce. The first thing that a lot of people do is try to get y'all back together, and then they try to tell you the good points about this Black man in order for the kids to be there. The mother is always going to tell you all of the negative about this man in order for y'all to stop talking about him, in order to, you know what I'm saying, in order for the kids to start getting brainwashed into listening to all of the faults that the mother's saying. Because kids don't never see those type of flaws with their dad, but they'll start listening to that, and then they'll start having their own belief about it, and that's none of their business. They'll start saying, "Well, you did this to mama, or you did this to mama." That ain't your business. What was I doing for you? How did I raise you? How did I take care of you? The things that me and your mother had going on had nothing to do with the way that I loved you. But because he's a white man, he can get held accountable because those kids represent themselves as Black. And so now they have a stigma against their white father. That is, in my opinion, that is exactly what happened, and that's a downplay to him because at first he was a great dad and in everybody's life dad until that whole controversy of his of their mother wanting more than um, was actually supposed to be given to her.
Okay.
So that's what that was with Gary Oldman. So I would just give him a plate because I know a lot of people want to crucify him, and I don't want him getting beat up at the at this imaginary cookout. The second
Why are you
person,
telling secrets? Why are
yeah.
you telling people it's imaginary? It's real, damn it.
So the second person that I'm going to give a plate to,
Mm-hmm.
that everybody's gonna have a problem with, is Quentin Tarantino.
Oh shit.
I'm,
You
I'm,
trying to fight at the cookout.
I'm bringing him a plate. I'm bringing Quentin a plate.
You
And the
gonna have to
reason why I'm
fight. You gonna have to fight
bringing
some
Quentin a
folks.
plate is because he loved um, black movies so much that he tried to incorporate that. He's just a white man, and so he got a lot of controversy for the dialect that he was
Yeah.
bringing into those cinemas. But he was really his whole childhood. He loved black movies, and that's what he
100%.
tried to recreate. And I don't think
Right.
people understand that.
Right.
I
People
don't
don't.
believe I don't believe in any gumption that Quentin Tarantino is a racist. I do
Oh.
believe that he saw black exploitation movies as the best movies he ever seen in life and kept trying to recreate them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I 100% agree. Like I studied him a little bit when I was in undergrad, and um you're absolutely right. Like that was the best times of his life going to see black exploitation movies. You know what I'm saying? Just the atmosphere as a whole, and then on top of that, the movie. You know what I'm saying? So that's what a couple of his movies are. Like case in point, Jackie Brown. You know what I mean? So
Exactly.
um yeah, so that is what he was trying to, recreate and reinvigorate, you know. People don't know that though. People only know what they see, and they see that this movie has a lot of N-word dialect in it, and they're like, he wrote it, so that makes him a racist, even though he's being um he's being authentic to the character. It ain't like he going around saying the shit, you know what I'm saying? But he's being authentic to the character.
Yeah,
And it kind of has to start with us to stop saying the word altogether for people to stop saying the word.
exactly. And that's
You
the
know.
whole thing. And it's the best. And I tell people all the time, listen, the best scene I've ever seen in a Quentin Tarantino movie was him being totally authentic to what it is to be a pompous white man. Is when he looked at John Travolta and Samuel L. Jackson and said, "Does my garage look like dead nigga storage to you?" Like what? No, no, no. Does it have a sign that says "dead nigger storage"? Like, why would you bring?
Right.
Like, if that wasn't the most pompous white thing that you could say, I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't really think people understood what he was trying to exploit.
Yeah.
Like, and so I don't. Again, I'm bringing him a plate. I might bring him two plates. I loved. I loved at one point. He couldn't be. He was unmatched with movies that I watched. Not only with the with him trying to recreate the black exploitation, but when he was really trying to go back to um double features. This
Yes.
man was unmatched.
The double features were dope.
Unmatched. He was
Yeah.
unmatched. Nobody could compare it to what Quentin was doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. But you know how it is. People can only see surface shit. You know what I'm saying? And it just is what it is. But yeah. But yeah. Is there anybody else you'll bring a plate to?
I got one. I got another one. But yeah, if y'all thought Quentin was bad, y'all definitely gonna think he's bad. Nah, y'all might not. Y'all might love this guy like I love this guy. Jerry Springer.
Mm,
I'm
you know
bringing the
what?
plate
I
to
would do
Jerry.
you one better. I would invite him. However, I will be fighting at the cookout if I invite him. Like,
Yeah, I'm just bringing him a plate.
yeah, yeah.
I'm bringing him a plate, and the only reason why I'm bringing him a plate is because um Jerry Springer knew how to um just bring out not the trash in everybody. He didn't pick and choose. It was the trash in everybody.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? And he loved everybody. Let's not forget, Jerry Springer would check the shit out of a racist real fast. You know
1000%.
what I'm saying? Let's not forget, Jerry Springer will check the shit out of you. Like, hold up, that's too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, unlike Geraldo, who, you know what I'm saying, we thought had our back, and then you found out that nigga didn't give a fuck about none of us.
Not one.
Now, another person who I would give a play to is Maury Povich. And because Maury Povich is the legitimate version of I love everybody. This nigga had Asian babies. This nigga loves everybody. The fact that he can pronounce a name that I can't pronounce as a black man, he's
Yeah.
definitely get. Not only is his plate having ribs on it, he got the chicken. He got the because I do bratwurst. He got the bratwurst on it.
Mhm.
Uh, and that's just one plate. He got ribs, bratwurst, chicken on one plate. The other plate, he got homemade potato salad, homemade baked beans, and then he got deviled eggs. That's, you know what I'm saying? Because for that man to look at a name one time and be like, boom, I got it. In the DNA test of Dontavius Sharon McHale. Darian, you are not the father.
Okay. You know what? I would do you one better. Not only would I invite him to the cookout, but I would tell him he got a +1 in his wife on the strength of his successor being Karomo, a black man, a black gay man at that.
You know what?
Yeah.
You
Just
gotta
on the
give him
strength.
that.
Yeah.
You
Just
gotta
on the
give him that.
strength. I
Like
would
I said, that man loved everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Connie Chung just happened to be adjacent.
Right. And I love that relationship.
Yeah, they got a dope relationship. Or
Yeah.
is they both still alive?
Yeah.
Okay, they got a dope relationship.
Yeah. They did like a video not too long ago where it was like them talking, kind of interviewing one another. It was really cute. So
Okay.
but yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, that
Um
man, I don't care. You know, my favorite word is, don't argue with me, argue with your mama. If you don't believe Maury Povich loves everybody, you don't see the circle of people he aligns himself around.
mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And yeah, but again, Travis and Taylor, yeah.
It's a plus for me.
Yeah.
It's a plus for me.
I'm okay. Well, Travis never got an invite. I would have gave him a plate prior to Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift, again, is not being considered until she sends that edible arrangement to Kanye West. Period.
Well, I have my black cookout where everybody needs to arrive on time.
Oh shit. I ain't going.
Everybody needs to arrive on time. And Travis and Taylor, you guys are invited.
They gonna be the only ones there on time.
It's gonna be more people because there's more people that think like me.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people that thinks like me. Like
In
as black
Kansas
people,
City, sure.
we have to stop acting like fashionably late is a thing to do.
You know what? I'm not mad at people being fashionably late because that means I got extra time because I'm running late.
No, I don't believe. I do not believe in that. I
Mm,
believe. I was taught that when you're on time, you're late.
yeah, I mean, you hear that for interviews, but
No, I that's just every day. But my uncle taught me that for everything that you ever do.
yeah,
Like
I just
if you're
I'm
on time, you're
tired.
late. So if you arrive early, that means you just need to help with the setup. It is plenty of times somebody told me we're gonna do this at 3 in the afternoon. If I get there at 2:30, I'm helping.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there at 3:30 just to make sure that y'all are ready to go. So yeah, I'm okay. But yeah, so that is Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. So yeah, another congratulations in order for Mr. Travis Hunter and his wife. Now, this is another one where this might be congratulations or this might be what the fuck were you thinking? They have welcomed a baby boy, a healthy baby boy into the world this past week. Nobody knew she was pregnant. As far as I knew, nobody knew she was pregnant. But it started to kind of make sense why they went on ahead and got married when they did.
Mm-hmm.
You know, still we're talking about a couple that has no prenup. The man was like number 2 in the draft pick, and he's about to start his first season in the NFL. Also was a Heisman Trophy winner, and also had the internet set ablaze with the display of disdain that this woman had for her mate. Um, it is what it is at this point. That man ain't listening to nobody, and we just got to sit back and watch what happens. Um, Prepare for the worst and hope for the best is where I'm at with it. And congratulations again to them because a healthy baby boy is always a blessing, no matter who the parents are. So, yeah. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are simple. Young Travis, you fell in love with someone who is going to take half of your money, um, and you're okay with it. And if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it as well. Um, and I ain't got to be on no extra. Whatever controversy anybody wants to talk about, y'all can do that on another podcast. I'm not gonna do that on this one. I will just say this: never marry anybody when you're not equally yoked. When y'all don't have the same um, um, preferences or the same ways of living, it is always going to be a disconnect. And we see that. Excuse me. We This man literally sits outside of a club and waits for her to come outside the club. They're not equally yoked. They're not the same. They don't have the same aspirations nor goals. And you're going to give her half of everything that you're worth for your first contract. And this is going to be a learning lesson for you because this first contract is your first contract. I think you are going to be prime time superior on the cornerback end, and I believe you're going to get way more money than this. But this situation is going to let you know that you need to actually be equally yoked to the person that you're with next time. And you're going to be an amazing father. Um, and then you're going to teach your son, like you said, to be better than you, not on the field, but off the field. And that's all I have to say about that, because I don't I understand what it is, because I've seen plenty of people, men and women, have dreams and aspirations for a person, but they don't actually look at that person, and they have babies with them, and then they find out who the real person is. Nobody knows who you really are until, one, you move in with them, or you have babies with them. And you're going to see that, and the person that you are going to look for someone who is actually going to be in your corner, instead of saying, yeah, publicly, nah, I didn't like him at first. Like, and I'm not downplaying that. I'm just saying, look at those signs. Everybody's going to tell you, hey, red flags. The people warned you. If your friends didn't show up to your wedding, then you know it was wrong. I'm not saying none of that at all, young man. I'm just telling you, at this moment, just understand that everything that you make right now, if this woman is who I think she is, just be prepared to set her up for life, because you have a son now. And then find somebody who is actually going to truly be in your corner. And that's all I can say about that.
Yeah, and then make better financial decisions next time. And then it's never too late to get a post up. Now, will she agree to that motherfucker? It's a shot in the dark, but
Would you?
see, that's the thing about prenups and postnups or whatever. They're not just one form, insert your name here. They're very customizable. You can make them say whatever you want them to say. So would I agree to a postnup if it's something that is agreed toable? That's not a word. But if it's if it's something that I can agree to, absolutely. But I'm not that type of person that want to just, take somebody to the cleaners unless they 1000% did me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Then maybe, um, but you do a post up, when you're not enraged prior to you doing anything wrong, um, so that you can have a clear, mind, and you won't be vindictive while you're going through the process of it. So, yeah. Not to do it under duress or anything like that. Just make sure that you are, thinking it through, and, you know, consult with a lawyer. Have a lawyer on the payroll to assist you through the process. You know,
What do you think she deserves?
um, so it all really depends on the reason why they would break up. Um, I would give her probably, like, if they just like grow apart or whatever.
I was
I
about to
would
say, you, because you got to understand, with in this situation, um, especially with an athlete or a celebrity,
Mhm.
irreconcilable shit, and that's all they gonna say. It is.
Right, right. But yeah, like, but I mean, that's very generic. It's a very generic reason to divorce. So it just really all depends. Like, if she wake up one morning and be like, you know what, I'm done. I would probably give her all her lawyer fees, and I would set her up to the point where um she's living comfortably, and I will move on about my business.
So
So I would probably give her 1 million after taxes, after lawyer fees.
1 million?
Yeah, he's worth like millions on top of millions. So giving her one is nothing.
Well, giving her one is That's almost disrespectful to her. And that's what people are going to say. That's not what I'm going to say, because
But
I'm going
that's
to
the
say that's
thing,
too
like,
generous.
yeah, but that's the thing. Like, if she wakes up one morning and say, I'm done, that's what I would give her. Now, of course, you lowball and then you meet in the middle. She probably asked for half, but I don't know what his net worth is. Let's see what his net worth is. But like, if she were to, do something scandalous, like cheat on him or something like that, I'd probably give her her court fees and that's it. Like, cause you can go on about your business.
You
Like,
know, just me being me, I'm going to say this out the flip. If I'm worth, let's say for instance, if Travis is worth 40, I'm
mm-hmm.
going to give her 5, and could just to get her out my get her out my hair, so I can take care of my son like I need to take care of my son.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just one of those things. Not only am I going to give her 5, because you got to understand how people move.
Yeah, yeah.
Not only am
Okay.
I going to give her 5, I'm going to make sure that she has a financial advisor to make sure that that 5 doesn't get blown.
Yeah.
Like, these are the things that, like, because he didn't sign a prenup, if he signs a post, then these are the things that I want to make sure the provisions are taken care of. Because what you're not going to do, because again, I'm just one of those people. Y'all can hate me for saying what I'm saying right now, but I'm one of these people. If I give you $5 million, what I'm not going to give you is child support. I'm
I
going to
think they're
take
two
care of my
different things.
child.
I think they're two different things.
Yeah.
And if you're going through a divorce, I don't think you have a say so.
No,
And it
you do
just
have a
be
say.
it.
And like, if this agreed upon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you have a say so, and that just be it. Like, if that's what you want is to not pay child support, and they agree to you not paying child support, that's one thing. But if you say that you just gonna give her a set amount and then no child support, and she be like, hell no, then that's something separate. Y'all gonna have to go to the court ultimately and let the court decide how much is appropriate.
Okay, and so my thing is this, like, and I get that 100%. So my thing is this: because he didn't sign that prenup and he has to sign a post, I'm going to set you up where it's going to be one of those things where you not only can you take care of him, I can take care of him, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to make sure that you have a financial advisor to make sure that the 5 million that I give you, you can start creating wealth on that alone. And I'm going to be able to take care of my son like I want to, without the courts keep on being involved.
But the thing is, with when you saying to set her up with the money that you give her, that's only if she wants to be set up that way.
A
Because she can do whatever she wants to with that money. If she want to
hundred
go
percent,
and wipe her ass with it, she can do it.
100%, and that's why if she agrees to that post, that's what
Mm-hmm.
she has to agree upon. This is all
Mm-hmm.
me saying what she agrees upon.
Yeah,
If that doesn't happen,
but still, the financial advisor is keyword advisor. They can advise you to do a lot of things. Now, whether you do it or not is something different. So you can set her up to be successful and make more money than you. However, will she do it?
again, like I'm saying, because I get what you're saying, but it is
Mm-hmm.
what you agree upon in that post.
Yeah.
If you agree upon that, then that's what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever limit that, because it's limits in everything that we do when we sign contracts. Whatever limit, we're gonna wait till that limit happens before we start renegotiating shit.
Yeah.
But that's what if you agree upon that, that's what you're gonna do. If not, if you don't agree upon that, then okay, we'll take it to court. We'll do whatever we need to do. And if I'm again, like I said with Travis, be willing to just give up half of your money for this first contract. Make
Yeah.
sure that you understand that the money that you give in child support is strictly coming off your first contract from here on out. I don't think people really understand. Like, if you sign a $40 million contract, your first contract, you got to be smart and financially good with your money, because if you are an outstanding athlete, your next contract is going to be triple what that is. So you got
Yeah.
to make sure that 40 million is making sure that child support is already taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And that next contract is strictly just your money.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. So, as far as his financial standing is concerned, as of 2025, his estimated net worth is $6 million, fueled by NFL earnings and lucrative endorsement deals. Selected as a number two overall pick by the Jacksonville Jaguars, Hunter signed a 4-year, $46.65 million fully guaranteed contract, including a $30 million signing bonus. His base salary for 2025 is 840,000, projected to rise next year to 7.2 million by year 4. So yeah, that
Yeah.
was the dumbest shit in America for him not to do
So
it.
just make sure that you know that you potentially are going to lose $23 million.
Yeah.
But make sure that that $23 million is not only paying her but child support until that kid is 21.
Yeah.
Make those provisions to make that happen. Be smart enough to make it. You've made the decisions on your own just based on being tender. So now, if anything happens, make sure that you are willing to give up half, and that half is going to not only take care of her, but it's going to take care of that child support. Because what you don't want to do is turn around and sign $100 million contract and have to do this all the way over again.
Yeah. 1,000%. 1,000%. But, at this point, it's like us playing catch up for some people that have no intentions on doing it.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
but that's the thing about being young. I remember being young and somebody and couldn't nobody tell me nothing.
Hmm.
So I get
So couldn't nobody tell you nothing about a female though?
it. Again, I just be feeling like you digging at me, cuz.
I'm not.
Yeah,
These
yep, yep,
are these are honest questions.
yeah. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing about a female. And I learned my lesson.
Well, all right.
And I learned my lesson. And I learned to be smarter, greater, and wiser when it comes to those things. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not gonna put him under any slander, because I know what it is to be caught up and be in love with somebody who is not matched to you.
Yeah, and I get that as well, and I don't fault him for that, but we may have had at best a handful of people pulling us to the side, telling us that the decision we're making romantically is not the best. You know what I'm saying? This man damn near got the whole US. I'm not even gonna say the whole world because who knows about outside of the US, but for sure the whole US saying, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, I didn't see not one since we've known about her. I have not seen not one in support of her, not one comment in support of her.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And we could honestly be catching some bad video, some bad takes. You know what I'm saying? And she could very well 1,000% love his dirty draws, and we're just catching it on the wrong moment. But whether we catch it in the wrong moment or not having a prenup is insane. Just on the strength, not even on the strength of your relationship, just on the strength of a financial standpoint. And statistically, we suck at marriages in America.
Dude.
We suck. So just to make things easier for you, and just to, if that occurs, which God forbid, you can move on more swiftly if you just would have had that shit in place. Because ain't no telling what will occur on Mad Day. You don't know these people on Mad Day.
You have to have a standard for yourself. And that's for everybody. That's not because we've had this conversation before, and it's the honest to God truth. It doesn't matter what tax bracket you're in.
Mm-hmm.
A prenup is not only going to safeguard you, but it's also going to safeguard the person that you quote unquote fell in love with.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't think so, but it's like, let's keep it a beam. If we sign a prenup right now, and I am the majority of the breadwinner, by the time we get a divorce and you become majority of the breadwinner, now I'm not trying to sit there and fight with you over extra fucking money.
Right.
Like, I don't think a lot of people think about this. And I tell people all the time, this is not me being that kind or trying to act like, oh, nah, make sure these motherfuckers don't get shit. No, I'm just keeping it 100. If I'm the majority of the breadwinner in the first beginning of the marriage, and then all of a sudden, maybe I lose my job or you end up getting a job that is way more profitable than my job. Why are we going back and forth in litigations with this?
Right.
I'm a man. I can take care of myself. Why would I even try to play with you like that? But some people do. So why? Let's not do that. Everybody's goal should be to be greater than what you was yesterday in the first fucking place.
Right. Right.
So yes, let's sign this prenup because at the end of the day, and I'll just talk to my ladies right now. At the end of the day, ladies, if you marry a dude that's a construction worker, and then all of a sudden you start a business that makes you millions and millions of dollars, and yes, he helped contribute to that, but do you want to fight in court over your fucking business that you created while this nigga was over here building shit for the white man? Like, not even the white man. Let me not say that. But for businesses, right? Do you want him to turn around and say, you owe me for every whatever you were doing? Do you want to go with that? Or do you want to sign that prenup that he said that he was going to do? Like, this is to safeguard everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people really understand that. Even switch it and it just be, if a woman was making more money and she wanted a prenup and boom, 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 sign a prenup, and then you come up with something that all of a sudden gave you $10 million. Do you think you want to go through a whole litigation of now the thing that I created has to be a part of her when she was already over here doing what she was doing? Like, let's just keep it a beam with each other. Prenups are not bad. Prenups are not a bad thing. Prenups are making sure that your shit is secure and your shit is secure. Mm-hmm. Like, that's all it is at the end of the day. Because if it's already written and it's already put into play, then we don't have to argue about it. What we can start doing if we have children is start being co-parents like we supposed to.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole thing in a nutshell. Yeah. Like, case in point, say I'll just put a scenario because I don't want to even put in the rich people. I'll say this. If you're somebody that makes 80, 90,000 a year, sign a prenup to make sure that half of that is not just going to somebody who is going to spend that how they want to, and then tell you got to do more for your children. Yeah. Let's just keep that a beam. Like, so if you're making 80, 90,000 a year after taxes, you're bringing maybe 65,000 home. And then they tell you they want half of that. So now your network, and instead of 65 a year, because half of it's going to them, uh, now you're making 32.5, and then they tell you on top of that you got to pay child support, and now you can't even sustain yourself. But then they can call you a brokey. Why would you go through that?
Right.
When you can sign a prenup and say, I'll give you this amount and I'll pay this amount in child support, and I'll go about my business, and you can go about your business, and we can co-parent like we supposed to. And you can't put a nigga, because that's the problem with men and women. They'll put a man or a woman in front of this person saying, this is what they're doing for my child, or this is what they're doing for your child now, because they don't have to pay what I fucking pay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, let's just keep, man, come on, let's just be 100. That's the smartest thing to do.
It is. It is. And a lot of people are not going to do it. That's the part that sucks about this.
I'm not, man, come on, listen. I'm team, I don't make that much. just keep it 100. I'm team, I don't make that much.
Yeah.
Do I want to get married to Jasmine? 100%. Do I think I will ever leave Jasmine? No, not a day in my life do I think I'm going to leave her.
Mm-hmm.
But do I make provisions? 100%. 100%. Because
and that's just
I
being
need
smart.
to make sure that not only that I can take care of myself, but I can take care of my son.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. When it's all said and done, me and Jasmine can love each other's dirty jaws, but if we disconnect, we disconnect. What I'm not going to do is be paying one person to pay her and then not even being able to take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would never do that.
Yeah. Right. And that's smart. You know what I mean? That's definitely smart. But yeah, shout out to Travis Hunter and his wife. And yeah, hopefully they make better decisions with the upbringing of their child. But moving on. So, did not expect to be almost an hour and a half into this when we were just giving congrats.
Yeah.
But that's how it is over here.
So, it was just, and again, it was just game. Nobody was downplaying nobody.
100%. 100%. So, Snoop Dogg went on a podcast recently, and he told a story about how he took his grandson to see the new Toy Story spinoff movie. And in the movie, there was a scene where two women had a child. And he said that his grandson was like, I don't understand. Two women can't have a kid. How are they saying that two women had a kid? And he was just like, eat your popcorn. And the grandson wouldn't let it go. And so he was just like, I'm not prepared to have this type of conversation. Why is something like this in a movie? I just want to enjoy the movie. This, that, and the third. And so, a lot of people felt some type of way with his thoughts about what they saw. Some people think he's lying. Some people think it's a narrative that continues to be put forth. Excuse me. And some people agree. I think that there is a way that you can explain it. I don't think that there's necessarily this whole agenda that people are like leaning towards. I think that they're just looking for people to look at it as part of the norm. Just like you look at a man and woman as part of the norm, you should look at two women or two men as part of the norm. Um, but I don't necessarily buy into the whole force feeding it down your throat. Um, yeah. And then, I mean, you could have easily said the kid is adopted. You could have easily said, yeah, technology. I mean, you could have figured out a way to say it. I understand not wanting to say it in the moment because you are in the theater trying to enjoy a movie, but um, there is a way to explain it for a child to understand. What are your thoughts?
First and foremost, shout out to the Lightyear movie.
Mm-hmm.
Snoop said it. He was just trying to sleep. Um, Snoop smokes more than the law can allow. He was just trying to sleep, and he didn't know how to answer that question. I can answer this question for everybody because I actually watched the movie.
Okay.
Um, so I can tell you off the flip. No, that's her partner now. Um, the person that she actually had the baby with is no longer with us. If you watch the movie, you would know that.
So he was awakened with this question.
Yes. And so that's the thing. People were browbeating the man who literally on that podcast said, I got woke up to this shit. He didn't watch it. Had he had watched the movie, he could have explained it better to his grandchild.
Yeah.
You get all of these people who want to, first of all, Snoop Dogg is a 53-year-old man that smokes 17 ounces a day of marijuana. He literally takes his kids to the movies to go to sleep. That's it. He wants to be active. That's how he can be active. Getting them in tune to that while I can take a nap before I wake up and smoke another goddamn blunt.
Like that's all you do in life if you smoking that much.
Don't fault Snoop Dogg for this at all. Snoop is not downplaying the LGBT community.
I didn't take that he was doing that either, but people are taking
People are, and you know what? That'll die down because people that actually seen the movie says, "Oh, we know exactly where this came from. This is just her partner now. That's who her partner is now. That's it. That's all. You know, what we, as much as they try to make it a heterosexual against the community of thing, what we really need to go into the aspera of is thinking, or excuse me, the aspera of is looking at it as that lady was purely free love. She could actually love anybody, male or female. That's what nobody even took from that. They just took the first lesbian kiss on Disney and just skyrocketed with it when this is a whole thing. This is because we have people and that we live with, love, and be around every day who are free love, who is they move off of how the aura on the person is. It doesn't matter the gender. And I say this with a grain of salt because I hate, and I know hate is a strong word, but I hate when certain people in that community go balls to the wall about how people hate things instead of doing their own research to really know that in that moment he literally didn't know what to say 100% because he wasn't watching the movie. Let's just base it on, instead of trying to say, oh, Snoop don't like to talk about lesbian relationships, let's just say he didn't fucking watch the movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I
let's
feel like a lot of
just
people
keep
don't
it a
know
beam
that
right
part.
then and there.
I feel like a lot of people don't know that part. And that's the thing with watching clips. You know what I'm saying? Because they can chop and screw a clip so much that it's something totally different than what the actual intent was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like, because I watched when I seen that, I watched it. And I get how people can get things misconstrued, but I listen to what people say. Snoop said shit. I took him to the show to sleep. And then I got woke up to this. He didn't even watch what happened.
Yeah.
The whole onslaught of Keke Palmer's dad died.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So if it was me and my son asked me that same question, I would have said, I don't know. Her daddy died. Like, her daddy died, and she fell in love with a woman. That's in today's society, that's a norm. Even if he'd had problems about that, I would have told him that's a norm. That's what some people feel like. If he'd have said, "Ugh, that's gross, girls kissing girls," I'd have been like, "Hey, that's your opinion, but that's what you keep in your opinion. You don't tell people that." That's what you keep to your. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe, and you stick to your opinion. But that's not everybody else's opinion. Period.
Like, or just throw it back on him and be like,
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't like the fact that you eat your boogers. Some people
You
might
know,
think that that's gross as well, but everybody's not telling you that they don't like your boogers. So how they keep that to yourself is how you should keep your opinion about this to yourself. And like that, everybody will be fine.
I got a mentor right now. And shout out to my mentor, Coach T. Coach T told me, he said, man, everybody's going to have a flaw about everything you're doing. And he said, that's going to make you feel bad. He said, but you can go into everybody's house and talk about every flaw that they doing as far as their bedrooms being dirty, their bathrooms being dirty, or their kitchens being dirty. You can throw that on them. But do you want to be the same person that they are, or do you want to explain why they're wrong? And instead of trying to throw dirt on each other, just explain why in society that's not a good thing to do. That's it. That's all in a nutshell. I'm not telling you to have you can't have your opinion. You're supposed to have your opinion.
Yeah.
Keep your opinion, because that's what's going to make you you, and that's what's going to help you teach whoever you need to teach or guide whoever you need to guide. But I can't tell another person how they're supposed to do the same thing that I'm trying to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you have to do that. Everybody's agenda who is pure doesn't follow the same aspects of certain things. So I can be totally genuine with everything I say to you, and I can be, in my opinion, 100% right. At the same time, a gay person can tell you the same thing with that, and I could be in totally agreements of it. But what makes me wrong is if I tell you don't listen to him because he's gay.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole thing in a nutshell. And that's not saying that Snoop was trying to do that. I'm saying that's what society is trying to make Snoop or trying to say that Snoop was trying to do. The whole thing in a nutshell is Snoop was not prepared. Snoop is a 53-year-old man that smokes weed from the moment he wakes up to the moment he falls asleep. A lot of things Snoop ain't prepared for. The reason why Snoop is able to be Snoop is because Snoop is worth $157 million.
Oh, jeez.
People take care of him.
Yeah. He can pay somebody to give that explanation. Shit.
Let's just keep there. Let's just keep that a total big. If Snoop was a nigga that worked for the city, Snoop would have gave you the same fucking thing because he was asleep. That's why I don't think I'm like, man, just understand where Snoop wasn't downplaying the LGBTQ community.
No.
He wasn't doing that. He just said, I can't explain that shit. I don't know what to say. Eat your popcorn.
Right.
Eat your popcorn and watch the movie, which was smart to say instead of saying something disrespectful.
Agreed. But you know how people are. They gonna spin that narrative and make him out to be the villain.
Yeah. And let's just keep it a bean. It's everywhere.
It is.
And like Snoop said, it's everywhere. He doesn't know how to explain it. And that's 100% fine because in his generation, it was frowned upon.
Right.
So he doesn't know how to do or say things because he has to walk into this atmosphere where it is a norm. So he doesn't know what to say.
Right.
Case in point, because a lot of y'all gonna get mad at me when I say this, but case in point of a white man or a white woman that never thought that it was good for you to beat up black men or hang black men because they grew up in that time, but they don't know what to say to stop it.
Right.
They don't know what to say to stop it. They don't think it's right, but what can I say?
Right.
Because that's the norm.
Right.
That Snoop grew up with it was the norm to downplay the LGBTQ community.
Right.
So now that he's it's a point that it's a norm, he doesn't know what to say. Give him, man, come on, give that man a pass. He didn't say, "Oh man, fuck this." It would have been a difference. He said, "Fuck this shit, let's leave."
Yeah. Or it would have been a difference if he would have got on there downplaying that community. You know, he just was like, I don't know, which is honest. A lot of people don't know, to your point, you know, but instead of educating, they bash and degrade and, you know, be on some bullshit. And that's the thing. You can't even be honest, you know, but it is what it is. So yeah, I'm not going to fault Snoop Dogg for his feelings because that's honest. So maybe we need to have some type of avenue where you do explain it, you know. So, but anywho,
and explained it, and that's the thing. And explained it in the movie.
But I'm talking beyond the movie. Just, you know, and which I'm pretty sure they probably have because they have 1,000,001 things for children, but maybe like a kid book that explains it on a kid level with illustrations and whatnot. Again, I'm pretty sure they probably already have it, but something like that will explain it to a kindergartner what they're seeing, you know.
So and now with that, I will say this. Now I'll stand up for this. With that's a slippery slope. I believe that being inclusive is being inclusive, and you can be inclusive with certain things. But I will 100% say it is certain things that should not be explained to anybody at a certain age, just because they're not going to be able to comprehend it like you think they are.
I think we don't give kids enough credit.
I give you that, but I also give you, I work with children, and I know certain things can't be explained like so easily to them. It has to be cookie fed to them.
And that's why I say to have a book that's geared towards those kids. When you have a book that's geared towards those kids, it's going to be written in the language that they can understand and written on a level of their comprehension.
So What I'll say to that is, because I deal with a lot of children, is again, that's going to be one of those things where it's a slippery slope, because sometimes some of our children experience these things through molestation. So it has to be something that um, you can't normalize at a certain age for certain individuals, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get what you're
So you
saying.
know what I'm saying? Like, that's
But
why
I
I'm saying it's a
wouldn't I
slippery
wouldn't go
slope.
that far. I wouldn't go that far in a children's book. You know what I'm saying?
So, but what I'm saying is, because I've seen it,
Mm-hmm.
is um if you were if, say a child has been touched where they act a bad way, but then they read a book that says this is normal, that can warp them mentally.
No, a book that's geared towards kids wouldn't be talking about it being okay to be touched. You will also have another book that talks about good touch and bad touch. You will also have education talk about good touch and bad touch. And one would hope that these kids are getting educated on good touches and bad touches.
You would hope that,
Yeah.
but because I work in this type of system, if that got pushed, you wouldn't get the good touch bad touch book. You would only get this book.
But I don't think that that book will be talking about touches.
So if a kid was out, again, like you said, we do a disservice to kids because we don't think kids are smart enough to understand things.
Mm-hmm.
If you get a 7-year-old that understands in his mind that he thinks girls are cute, but then he reads a book that says, "Oh, it's okay to like another person, or a person that looks like you," and they experience. So, because you gotta think what they experienced, and it's all from what I'm coming off of is all based on trauma. So I'm not saying that this is everybody. This
Yeah.
is all based on trauma. When it comes to certain things, we have to understand how certain aspects move individuals. If this individual had a good experience, or an experience where they felt something that they never felt before and they couldn't explain it, that could warp them on what it is. Because a lot of people don't understand when I've worked with people or individuals, especially with children, who have been touched by someone that looked like them and had the same parts as them, and they experienced certain things um, where they thought it was wrong at the time, but if they read a book to say, "Oh no, that's totally fine," that could totally warp them.
But the same can go for learning about the opposite sex.
That's
You were
100% true.
yeah, like
Again, like I'm saying, this is a slippery slope that we're going through.
I get your stance. I get where you're coming from, and I get your stance on it or whatever. But if we can teach them in a way that is acceptable for their age, I don't think that that necessarily will be an issue.
I get that.
It can, yeah, like if
I'm
it
just telling
becomes
you
an
what I
issue,
what
then
could
that
happen.
it become like a lot of things can become an issue. There's a lot of things that can trigger, you know, and it just unfortunately is inevitable if a person gets triggered because a lot of people don't know their triggers. But I don't I don't think a book trying to explain this to second graders, excuse me, on a second grade level is going to be something that's necessarily a bad thing.
I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what can open up to it. That's what I'm saying. It's a
But that's
slippery.
what I'm saying. There's a lot of things that can open up.
It's going to open up a lot. And so my thing is, because Lizzie, for anybody that's listening to us, you are 1,000% right. I think it's one of those things where, yeah, things need to be explained to children because we don't give children the credit on how much they can grasp things. But what I'm saying is, it's a slippery slope when that is the only thing being taught. When that happens, and then these kids get to expressing, oh, well, that's how it felt because Chester, when cousin Chester touched me. This is opening up things.
Yeah.
That's the
No,
only thing I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And when it comes to something like that, first off, if they haven't told and they get triggered and they act out or whatever, people like the adults need to acknowledge the fact that something is going on. We don't know, but we need to investigate. They need to investigate. If it comes out, they need to get that kid into some therapy. This is something that's way beyond trying to tell a kid about the birds and the bees. And that's something that, yes, it could possibly happen, but then again, it could not happen. And we can't continue to make caveats for every single thing that could possibly happen in these kids' lives. Because if you're going to continue to make caveats for something, you got to make a caveat for this, you got to make a caveat for that, you got to make a caveat for the third. And then at the end of the day, none of this shit can happen to nobody that's going to read the book. So it's like, you know, but
I get you. I get you, and I understand that. But let's just keep it a being and say, at this point, we're not talking about caveats. We're talking about sexuality. So
yeah,
sexuality is a whole nother thing. And again, when I'm telling my audience, I do believe you're right. But when we get to sexuality, we always have to be proactive when it comes to trauma.
yeah, no, I understand that. But you also got to be proactive with telling people, you don't want kids to grow up and learn the shit on the street.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to make sure that they're learning the right way so that they can make a sound decision for their life, whether they have some traumatic experiences or not. Um, but nonetheless, you want to make sure they're getting the right education.
Yeah.
But we spent a lot of time on
We
Snoop.
did. We
We
did.
need to go ahead and move on.
I just say like, yeah. So you know what I'm saying. We'll just let's do this. Let's say this because I want to end this on some, so people won't be on no extra. I think both of us are right. What you said is 100% right. But if when we go through that, we need to be proactive on whatever comes through that.
Yeah.
We need to be proactive. It ain't nothing that we're gonna sit in the gutter until something happens and then we try to follow up after that. We need to be proactive when these things happen or when these children start asking questions. We need to be proactive on that right then and there and provide what we need to provide for.
Agreed. So that's Snoop Dogg. I just want to emphasize Snoop Dogg because we got that other Snoop, Miss Felicia Pearson. I don't think she's trans. I just think she's a stud.
Yeah.
So
that's the homegirl from Baltimore.
Yep.
Yeah, she gonna talk. Yeah, I'm gonna have her on as a guest one day so she can just irritate yourself.
God, but you know what? I really think she has a great personality. So to hear her accent would really be like nails on a chalkboard. However, I will get past it to hear what she has to say because I really do enjoy her interviews.
So when we get through it, we get through in two. When we get
GPS signal lost.
Yeah, but anywho, yeah. So that was Snoop Dogg. So yeah, Okay, so next up is Jussie Smollett or Jussie Smollett, Mr. Jussie Smollett.
Jussie Smollett.
Yeah,
You call him Jussie Smollett, and that's crazy.
you're right. Justice for Juicy. So there is a Netflix documentary that that is available to watch now. And not only do they interview Jussie Smollett, they also interview the Nigerian brothers that quote unquote attacked him. They um they interview their lawyer. They interview the detectives on the case. They have a lot of footage, including surveillance footage from the case. This attack happened in the beginning of 2019, and it is close. It is close to the end of 2025, and we are still talking about it. It is still captivating, and we are still here.
Is it captivating though?
It is for me, and it was in the top 10 on Netflix, so I assume it is for a lot of people. And I did see quite a few people making videos and content and stuff like that online um with this specifically. So I would say yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Um this documentary for me has me looking at this case differently. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say that it completely sold me on his innocence. However, I am side eyeing the people that brought the evidence up and the people that we are thinking are telling the truth. You know,
I like the way you went with that.
yeah. And we also see that there was evidence that was suppressed. And it was like, it was,
Say
and
it
it
from your
was,
chest, cuz.
because I'm kind of torn now about this case.
You are? Okay.
Yeah. Because, okay, like, you can make a case for his innocence. You can make a very sound case for his innocence. However, you can definitely poke holes in that case. Even with all, excuse me, even with all the evidence, you can definitely poke holes in that case. You know what I mean? Um, One thing that was definitely suppressed for real was the witnesses. I never heard about the witnesses until this case or until this documentary.
Mm-hmm.
And the witnesses collaborated with Jussie's story. There were two witnesses. One that was a security guard at a wash house, and one that was a lady that worked or not worked, but lived in the building, and she was going out to let her dogs relieve themselves. They both said that they did see the assailants, and they had on the ski mask or whatever, but when you got the eyes cut out, you can see the skin around the eyes, and they said it was white people. The Nigerian brothers are not white. Newsflash, right? But yeah, they said they were white. And then on top of that, the surveillance footage has about 10 seconds that are missing. So where's that 10 seconds? A lot of things can happen in that 10 seconds.
What 10 seconds is it missing?
I believe it was from the building, the apartment building, and it was like, I guess the assailants were like walking past or running past or whatever the case may be, but it's like a whole 10 seconds that's missing. Like it skips from one moment to another moment, and it's 10 seconds that it skipped. So it was an edited version of this surveillance footage, and it's like, why is this edited? Not to mention, when you talk about the Chicago PD, they have a history of lying. Um, One thing they brought up on this documentary is the Laquan McDonald situation, where one cop shot him 16 times, and they tried to lie about that case until all the information came out. Once all the information came out, that's when they finally charged the cop. But it was so much that they lied about and that they tried to cover up with that situation. And it was disgusting how they did that. But that was a high profile situation. Um so of course they use that as an example of them lying. So when you lead it with, this is what they do, and you have this huge fuck up that they did and how they try to cover up the fuck up, yeah, you're gonna side eye the Chicago PD as a whole.
I mean, you're gonna try to at best.
Yeah. So but then when you look at the other side of things, it's like you have surveillance footage of the brothers buying everything they needed for this situation. You have surveillance footage of them being the only ones in an Uber in the vicinity of that area. And then they got out the Uber to get a cab. Why? Then you got that check. The check was the dumbest thing in America. However, Jussie does have a reason for writing a check. It's not the best reason, but a reason nonetheless. Um, Chicago PD has a reason why Jussie did it in the first place. The reason why they feel he did it was because he wanted to get paid more for being on Empire. Jussie was getting paid a whole lot, and he was directing. He had a good stance with the network. There was no reason for him to do no shit like this if that was the case.
So,
Um,
are we? But I'm gonna let you finish. But are we forgetting that at one point in Empire, everybody was negotiating and talking their price, and some people did not agree with their price. Um, are we gonna forget that? Because that was a whole controversy with Jesse, Hustle and Flow, and Taji. So we are gonna forget that ever happened.
no, we're not gonna forget that ever happened. However, I don't think staging a beat up is going to help you get paid more.
Will it give you publicity?
It would definitely give you publicity, but that doesn't equate to ratings.
So,
Because
yeah, but and so a traumatic event that happened with somebody who is unapologetically him. You don't think that's gonna make the show ratings rise more?
not something like this.
I
Not
don't.
something like this.
Okay.
Now, if something happened on the Empire set, if something was like directly affecting Empire in some way, shape, form, or fashion, maybe you'll get people to tune in next week.
Not
Yeah.
not him going through a traumatic event where he's so afraid to go outside, but he still happens to go outside and film a show. You don't think that's gonna boost ratings? Especially for somebody who is unapologetically them.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think they might sell out a concert, but necessarily get people to watch Empire.
It's not gonna raise his stock market up at all.
Not as far as like getting a raise.
Okay. So when he all of a sudden start getting bookings to speak and to raise his platform of his brand, he wasn't doing that at first, but he had a problem with what he was getting paid with. Now that he's doing this, that they can go into negotiations until things start coming out. Like,
now that, maybe that.
Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
maybe that.
Like, I know what I'm saying, and I don't want to cut you off, so I want you to finish what you're saying before I say what I want.
Yeah. No, I mean, you brought up a valid point, but that's like a roundabout way. Like, if you go that route, that's a shot in the dark that it will turn into being more lucrative on Empire.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? I think so because the network can look at it as one or two ways. They can look at it like, hey, this is a positive thing, he's more valuable. Or they can look at it like he's a liability. And you're doing too much and you're too radical and we just can't have this type of attention.
Or
you gotta remember that we're talking about Fox. Now I know that Fox, the TV network, is totally different than Fox News. However, it's under the same umbrella.
And I'm glad you said that. Because my thing is this. If we paid attention to Fox, when certain actors or certain actresses were getting caught up in publicity where it could become bad publicity and they were on the show, they start making it a part of the show.
Yeah.
And they start creating they start creating the narrative of what it could be. And then in real life, people start believing what it could be.
Yeah. Yeah, so, but when it goes too far, they kind of pull back. Like
but
the information about Terrence Howard being abusive started, coming up after Empire was this huge hit, like after season 1. You know what I'm saying? They started kind of pulling back. Now, you can't do Empire without Lucius. We know this. And it wasn't that big of an issue to where they had to fire him and figure it out. However, the extras that he was getting, like extra roles, extra appearances and stuff like that, they kind of started pulling back on it. Like there was a holiday special that him and Taraji hosted after the first year. Then when all that shit came out about him being abusive, the next year it was just Taraji. So, then he had Wayward Pines. That was a limited series. We didn't see him get another limited series after Wayward Pines. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they kind of did start pulling back, because again, it can be too much.
And again, we're gonna stay on this, and we're gonna stay with because just a disclaimer, I don't believe Jussie at all. But what I will say is I would just talk about the motion that I believe that he was going through.
Okay.
When you are unapologetically you and a part of a different community, you stop believing that they're going to shut you down because you're black. And that's what he played on. I'm going to tell you where he fucked up at. And everybody laughs when I say this because I've talked about this a lot.
Okay.
And I've said this on the podcast. He was, for me, in my opinion, he was banking on everybody's going to take sides of someone who's been through a hate crime, who is also a part of a community that they give hate crimes to. He was banking on that. And he fucked up when he got on stand or got in front of a bunch of people and said, y'all would have loved me that night because I was the gay Tupac. When he said that, and I've said this on the podcast before, but I'm going to say this right now. When he said that shit, I knew, and I said on the podcast, that nigga motherfucking lying.
Yeah.
That nigga's lying. Now, I will say this. The shit that makes it 100% sure that he's lying is those witnesses can't tell you what a black or a white man looks like in a goddamn snowstorm. I don't give a fuck what you talking about. Now,
was it a snowstorm or was it a polar vortex?
It was a polar vortex. It was a blizzard. They couldn't see who exactly who was who, which would explain why nobody is doing this shit at the time. No white man. I don't give a fuck how much y'all think white man or just good with being in the winter. No white man who is hating a nigga is hunting niggas in a fucking polar like nobody's looking for niggas in this.
No, nobody's out there. Like the setup was fucking stupid. Now
nobody's doing it.
Happened in June in the middle of the evening, sure. Different but 2 o'clock in the morning in a polar vortex, nobody's doing
it. And you can't tell me in a polar vortex, you're going to tell who is black or white. Now, let me do this because you said that 10-second delay. Maybe that 10-second delay, watch them niggas put on whiteface.
And that's what I was thinking too. I was like, they could have very well put on whiteface.
So this is what I'm saying. Even if that was the case that happened,
mm-hmm.
You know how I know Jussie Smollett did not have this shit happen to him. My reason for believing that is this. Put a noose around anybody's neck. And that man get away from you. Or that woman get away from you. You think they gonna sit in there in that trauma until the police come?
Right.
Let me just
I agree with that. I agree with that. That was dumb.
Yeah. Like, let's just keep it a bean. Like, cause he want to talk this black activist shit. Let's keep it a bean. You gonna allow a person to put a noose on you and you get away with that noose still on your neck? Let's just, for me, not saying for everybody else,
mm-hmm.
but for me, not only am I taking that motherfucker off, I'm waiting on you to follow me because I'm gonna put that bitch on you. I'm gonna choke your lights out, nigga. You got me fucked up. You tried to kill me in a polar vortex. You think I'm gonna have this motherfucker on me when the police? I've been in my house for 30 fucking minutes. I'm so distraught I left it. I'm so distraught I want this bitch off me.
I would have took it off right then and there. And then I would have had to tell them and then they would have had to go back and get it because it's not coming with me. The fuck? You wearing it around your damn neck like it's a necklace or something. Or like it's part of your outfit. No, we're not doing that. Mm-mm.
Listen.
And like little shit like that will have you be like, man, that nigga lying. Because now you putting 20 on 10. What man in Chicago, black, white, or indifferent, in a polar vortex, in a pretty decent area, because it ain't like Jussie is staying in the hood. In a pretty decent area, in a well-lit area, in a secured area, is walking around looking for the Empire F word, N word, to put a noose around his neck and beat him up at 2:00 in the morning of all times. That means that somebody was following you from when you touched down in Chicago and just got it in their head like, hey, let's go try to F him up. And then on top of that, how would they know after you came back in town and after you went up to your condo that you was going to come back out? And how did they know where you were going when you went to Subway and that you were coming right back?
In a polar vortex.
In a polar vortex.
So in a polar vortex, they said, oh, yeah, you that Empire nigger.
Yeah. No, they called him the F word, N word.
You the F word, N word from Empire.
From Empire.
Get out of here with that whole lot. Like, I get it. He's doing that because he wants to build a career back. Hopefully you get McDonald's commercials. I don't believe you, and nobody should believe you.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just saying that there was points that were made on both sides with this documentary, but like I said earlier,
he wanted to play white. He wanted to play the white woman in distress, and it backfired because you're a black man.
Yeah. But like I said earlier, it didn't necessarily get me to change my mind, but it got me to thinking, because I went into this like not even thinking about maybe this would change my mind. I just went into it to see if they was gonna tell me more info. You know what I'm saying? And then while I'm watching, I'm like, nigga, you lying. Then when they started exposing the police and they started exposing the suppressed evidence, and then when the security officer told his experience when he talked to the police, I was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it had me like really be like, okay, points are made. But still explain this other shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. You can't explain this other shit. Like, make it make sense. You can't make this make sense. The shit does not add up. For you to randomly be at this place to beat this man up at 2:00 in the morning, 2:00 in the afternoon, even in a polar vortex, I'll give you that. Because people be out. You may just run into the motherfucker. But it's a shot. It's a shot in the dark to run into somebody at 2:00 in the morning.
It's a shot in the dark to run into somebody at 2 p.m. in the afternoon in a polar vortex. Like, we're running through each other, and yeah, we might bump into each other, and fuck you, nigger, and keep it moving. Nobody's trying to fucking put a noose around your neck.
Yeah, and where you getting the rope from to make? And then you made the noose, and then you were there randomly at 2:00 in the morning, just waiting for him to put it around his neck.
I can't wait.
And you don't have nothing to hang him up on. You don't have nothing to hang him up on. You just putting it there for aesthetics. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
The only way, y'all, that I would totally say he might have an argument on this is if he was a frequent user of this subway. If they have footage of this man going into this subway every goddamn day, I would say, oh, okay, that's how they tracked him. That's the only argument I would have had for that. He didn't have that in a documentary.
No.
And I ain't even watched it, but listening to what you saying, he didn't even have trackings of where he was out through Chicago, which means this is a lie.
Yes.
Because they said you were the F word, N word from Empire. They would have had to follow this man to know that's who it was in a solar fucking say the name again.
Polar vortex.
Polar vortex.
Yeah.
They would have to be following this kid. Like, let's the nigga said he was the gay Tupac, y'all. You know, at that moment, you know he was lying. I told y'all, the audience, I said, man, that nigga lying. I stuck to that.
Yeah. Yeah. He lying. He's lying. And it just is what it is. Like, and you be trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, but being that this shit was 6 years ago, you got 6 years to figure out your lie and make it sound good. So then that's another added layer of the questioning. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's gonna go to his grave with the same story. So,
Yeah, he is.
you
I
know,
mean, the only thing about this that I love to death is that his sister, who was a amazing actress, got completely away from this black ball.
yeah, she was there just enough to show her support, which we can't take away from her. That's her brother.
Yeah,
But to your point, she was gone. Cause
yeah,
cause whether innocent, guilty, or in between, you fucking up my shit. And
yeah.
you know, this ain't even my first documentary seeing about this. There was another one where his brothers were interviewed, you know, and his brothers 1000% got his back. And I'm not mad at that. You know what I'm saying?
And
But it's
I ain't mad at
extremely
that either.
biased. So I'm not taking what y'all saying.
Yeah, but I shout out to Journey for saying, "Hey man, y'all get the fuck from around me with that shit."
Right.
100%.
Right.
Y'all get the fuck from around me with whatever the fuck is going on with that nigga. I know that's my brother. Listen, I love my brother 100%, and my brother loves me.
Mm-hmm.
But I can guarantee you, if I get on some bullshit tomorrow, my brother gonna be like, "Hey man, that's some bullshit for real." Now I'm gonna have your back if some nigga say something to me, but man, I can't be a part of that bullshit. Like,
Right.
nah, flat out, and I'll do the same thing to my brother. Like, nah, that's some bullshit. Now I ain't gonna let nobody talk shit about you, but man, you gotta handle that. That's some bullshit.
100%. 100%. So, you know, if you like documentaries or whatever, it is a good documentary to watch. It really is.
And,
You know, and even if you like followed the case even slightly, it's a good documentary to watch, you know. So yeah, and they're not paying me.
no, they're not.
But
They
yeah,
should.
if they did, it would sound totally different.
Not for me. Now,
But yeah.
listen, when you watch this documentary,
Mm-hmm.
I will say this and until they ban me from saying this on YouTube. This man told y'all he was the gay Tupac that night. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna tell you this. You think Tupac would have kept that noose on when the police came?
No.
And that's all I'm at that. I'm gonna leave it just like that, and I ain't gonna say shit else.
All right, I ain't gonna say no more. So yeah, that is the Jussie documentary. Now, on
And
to
if
our
you gonna
last.
call any, I'm sorry, I'm fine.
After you say
I'm
you
going
ain't gonna
into
say
it.
no more.
I'm sorry. One more thing. If you gonna label somebody the gay Tupac, it'll have to be the dude off Baddies that knocked them 3 niggas out. It would have to be. Y'all think Tupac is God amongst gods? We watched this nigga hit somebody so hard that they face went down and their legs went up. if y'all don't label him the gay Tupac, who the fuck are y'all labeling?
You know, who would I label the gay Tupac? I don't know. I have to get back to you on that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, and we watched him knock out 3 dudes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He did. Now, I would say,
because we talking about gay Tupac, we watched him knock out 3 dudes on the strength of them niggas disrespected black queens. Who we labeling the gay Tupac at this point?
Yeah, you definitely have a point. Definitely have a point. Now, I would I would have a trans Tupac. And because we know that Tupac straight fight the power, but can read like no other. And I would say T.S. Madison. I would definitely say T.S. Madison because the way that she be reading down, that's Tupac level reads, and she be fighting the power.
Yeah, I give her that. I give Madison that.
Yeah.
You know, because I 100% respect that because she has read down shit and she's also checked people in her community, so you have to respect that.
Yep, absolutely.
Like she call you out for what it is.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So I would give her the trans Tupac.
You give it a trans Tupac. I'll do that. I you know, I ain't gonna fault that. But that's nor here nor there. I just got on Juicy and I was just like, man, that nigga said that and he a goddamn lie, man. You ain't now. We seen Tupac get killed for faking stumping the nigga out. So what the fuck are we talking about?
I would have thought. I mean, what would have been a better plan of action for Jussie instead of faking an assault was him, you know, protesting and getting arrested constantly.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I would have thought that was cool. I would even thought if you know, just keeping it a beam, just if you just want to build controversy that way, start some shit with a gay start some shit with a straight male. And then as soon as that man get aggressive, put the cameras on. Like I would say do that more than what you did. Because you wouldn't have this amount of backlash.
Right. Or become a troll.
Yeah. Come on, we we talk about one troll. It seems like every other fucking podcast, because this bitch do instead of going to the goddamn studio.
Yeah. I mean, there were other ways that he could have went about this. Now, it wouldn't have been as grand as this turned out to be. However, you wouldn't be a liar.
But it would have gave you the traction that you wanted.
Exactly. And then we could have got a proper ending to Empire instead of that bullshit that we got that did not even explain what they were supposed to explain because they cut it short. But I digress. So moving on.
I've never seen an episode. Like,
you know,
never watched a day of Empire. Swear.
The only reason why I would not suggest to do it is because of the ending. If they gave us a decent ending, then I would be like, okay. But not only did he fuck up his career, he fucked up that show. And that is unforgivable because I could have got off the train like a lot of people could have gotten off the train. And I didn't because I like to see things to the end.
So he fucked it up like he was Lost, like, because I used to love Lost until the last episode and I was like, this some bullshit. They ain't explaining half the shit that I won't explain.
No, I think it was worse because they're not explaining what you want them to explain. The last season of Empire, the premiere was a flash forward. And then because of the controversy, the show got canceled. And then the show lost a couple of episodes. So not only did it get canceled, but they canceled the last couple of episodes. So it only went up to a certain point. And
so it is lost. Like, it's exactly lost.
But we were supposed to receive this flash forward. And we didn't. They had to end up changing the ending. And so, like, this flash forward, because the flash forward, everybody was dying. Like, everybody was gone. But because we didn't get those last couple of episodes, We don't get that.
This is exactly Lost. Like,
Oh, well,
like this is exactly Lost.
See, I was
Like,
thinking that you wanted certain things to be
no,
explained.
This is exactly what you explained is exactly Lost.
See, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah, but that's pretty much the gist of what happened, and that's the reason why I wouldn't even suggest, because
With
Empire was
Lost,
good.
the problem with Lost is too many of those actors became movie stars, so they had to wrap it up. So they couldn't give you
Yeah.
what they all those flash forwards that you've seen, all of the shit that was supposed to be foreseen, all of that like shit that was going on, relationships, all that. No, they wrapped it up in one fucking episode, and it didn't make fucking sense.
See, they gave us a whole different ending than what we were promised, basically, because Jussie fucked up the show because of his antics outside of the show.
Yeah, when I say they wrapped it up, I mean literally they shit that we thought we were going to see, we did not see.
Wow.
It just went bop 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 bop. This the end. What, nigga? Go black? What are we talking about?
Yeah. So yeah, damn shows. But anyway, that is Jussie Smollett. So now with our final topic, which is, this is some dumbass shit. I'ma just tell you that now.
Yeah, let's just wrap that shit up.
Yeah. So Tamar Braxton again is in the news. We don't really talk too much about Tamar Braxton because her antics are stupid and they're trivial, and I used to be a really big fan of hers. Especially like, going up against her sisters and whatnot, because some of those sisters are low-key jealous. I'm not even gonna hold you. They're really, because she was the breakout star of the Braxton family values, and the jealousy did show, but anyway, I don't know what Tamar be on, but she be on a lot of bullshit. Not even gonna hold you. She be on a lot of bullshit. And she's too damn old to be on the bullshit that she's on. She's damn near 50 years old.
She ain't 50 yet?
No, she ain't 50 yet. I want to say she's like 47.
Oh, she damn near. She look bad then.
Yeah. So,
like, no disrespect, but damn, like,
I'm not gonna go there about her looks, but
I can't. I don't have no dog in this fight.
Right. So, yeah. So, like I said, she keeps up a lot of mess. However, this past week, she took to the internet and she said that she pretty much woke up in a pool of blood. She's missing teeth, and she don't know what happened to her. And she's just thanking God that she's alive. So, that set people, in a frenzy, like, WTF, what happened to her? She was very strategic with what she was saying, and she didn't give no context to what actually happened. So, of course, the internet is going to internet, and they found a video of her at a club, entering the club with Funky Dineva and another person. I don't know why, but people took that she was with Funky Dineva last as Funky Dineva did this to her. How they made those links together, I don't know. However, they Funky Dineva wasn't really on the internet too much during all this time when people were trying to connect the dots, because it was his birthday. And so when he got back to his show, his nightly show on YouTube, he pretty much, started out with telling people, hey, I don't know what happened to that lady. Excuse me. And went through the timeline of when he was with her and the way he left her, and then the next thing that he heard from her. Right? So people start tearing that apart and saying he lying, why he calling her that lady. But I mean, to know Funky is to know his vernacular and how he talk. He didn't mean nothing by it, by calling her that lady, but people took that and ran with it as well. So then people, was doing think pieces and videos and all this type of stuff really saying that this man tried to unalive her. This start gaining traction and whatnot, and he reached out to her and was just like, hey, are you okay? Hey, have you been seeing this stuff going on? Mind you, this lady has been online. However, she is saying that first, she's not necessarily responding to some of his texts, but then there's other texts that she decides to respond to, and then she's like, "Oh, I was in the hospital. I didn't know what was going on." Blah blah blah. So then, when he found out that she was in the hospital, he was just like, "All right, well, feel better. I'll weather this storm." But then it started getting worse and worse and worse, and he's just like, "Hey, can you at least say something and clear my name?" Mind you, she's online posting shit. So it's not like she ain't got her phone. It's not like she ain't posting nothing. So it wouldn't have been nothing for her to post just like she posted that strategic story to clear his name. She chose not to. So then next thing you know, a video that looks like a trailer comes up, because now all of a sudden, right before this video pops up, now there's rumors about her dating Mendeecees. And Mendeecees is quote unquote married to Yandy from Love and Hip Hop, originally New York, now in Atlanta. And reason why I say quote unquote is because they only married by the titles. They're not married by paper. So, and then this
So
season,
they just basically just had a wedding.
yes, they just had a wedding, and it was a big production, and they didn't even sign the papers. But anyway, they this season of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is being exposed that they're having issues in their marriage. So, and cheating allegations, all this kind of stuff. The next thing you know, there's rumors of going about that Tamar and Mendeecees are messing around. So that's even more controversy on top of the controversy with Funky Dineva. Then we have this video that she puts out that looks like a trailer to an album that she's soon to release and a short film that she's soon to release. So now everybody's like, okay, so this is a damn PR stunt. You're not hurt. So then that's when Funky finally comes out and says, okay, I've been bamboozled. They don't want to clear my name, but y'all see that, because he's in the short film as well. And he's like, y'all see that this was pretty much a PR stunt, and I wasn't involved in the planning of this. I was collateral damage. And so then that's when she wants to come out and say some stuff. Then Funky comes out and says some stuff. So now they got a whole back and forth, and he's pissed about it, because you could have very well said anything to clear my name, and you chose not to. She eventually tried to come out and say, I still love Funky for whatever, even though I was in the hospital when all this was going on. I didn't say anything negative about him and blah, blah, blah. And he was okay until she started doing subliminals. Once she started doing the subliminals, he started doing directs, and it's been going back and forth for the past few days. She also, because a lot of people were saying that she was lying about her injuries, she also, whoever this doctor is, I've never heard of her, but she's out of Miami. She did a video with this doctor, and this doctor detailed her injuries and ultimately said that the injuries came forth because of sleepwalking.
What?
Yeah. So apparently she's a sleepwalker now, and she done fucked herself up royally. They showed pictures of her mouth. She got about 4 teeth missing. And that's even if that was her mouth. I don't know, because all it was the mouth. So this all could still be some bullshit, but I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. You said that you got fucked up, fine, you got fucked up. She went on live on TikTok, I don't want to say last night. Even though she was made up, you kind of see a little tweaking going on, but that could be anything, because they're saying that not only did she break the 4 teeth, she also broke her nose. But in the video, she didn't have nothing on her nose because she was supposedly in the hospital for some days. She supposedly had these surgeries, all this kind of stuff. But people that get nose jobs have the thing on their nose for weeks. You have a broken nose and you mean to tell me you ain't got nothing on your nose?
And she ain't a nigga, nor a boxer.
Yeah. So I'm like, a lot of stuff ain't adding up. And I'm just at my wit's end with this lady because this is some straight bullshit. Like, now she done blocked Funky. So now when he gets stuff, it's because people are sending it to him. So I mean, they're really just in a battle going back and forth online. And I feel like Funky has every right to be mad at her because you're playing with his name and his reputation at this point. And the crazy part about it is that, like, a lot of people really believe that he would have done something to her. And it's like, where do y'all get that from? You know? But exactly. That's what people believe.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's a very stupid situation. Nobody ever said that's close to the situation. Nobody ever said that he did anything. It's just a bunch of things on the internet that people just want to put 2 and 2 together and blame somebody for the situation. Where she could have easily came out and been like, I don't know what y'all talking about, but Funky ain't done nothing to me. We're good. But yeah, she chose not to, and now it's a big ass mess, worse than what it was. Did you see any of this going on?
I did. Shout out to Funky Dineva. Like, not on no extra shit, not on me being on any type of taking a side.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to Funky Dineva for actually really standing up for himself in the situation. Because for me, in my opinion, I do believe that all of this is a PR stunt. I do believe it's one of those things where, like, he feels, I just got thrown under the bus because you want to make whatever impact you think, whatever 250 people subscribe to whatever you're doing. You wanted to make me the backfile of this. What you don't understand is my reputation is totally at flaw when you do this shit. Funky Dineva is not a superior celebrity, and when I say that, I give him the utmost respect when I say this, but he's not a person who this type of allegation can get put on him where he can survive off of what he's made.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I get him being on the defense because let's just keep it 100. Funky Dineva is the person that everybody likes to listen to because not only does he tell you the truth and the tea about people, sometimes that ain't even on his radar. He'll just tell you the truth about yourself. Like, if y'all ain't never listened to Funky Dineva or never watch this podcast, I'm gonna be on some Lindsay shit. I don't get paid for this, but like, nah, actually watching. He talks real shit about everything.
Yeah.
It would be beneath me to do something to you. You know what I'm saying? It would be beneath me to do something to you. On top of, if I was even on that bullshit to do something to you, I say so much truth. I don't know. I'm not living in the same bubble you are. I say so much truth that I don't get the money you making.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this should have thrown me under the bus. Like, what are you doing? Like, you gotta, if you my dog or you say you fuck with me, you ain't even gotta be my homeboy or nothing. But for you to say you respect me, you should never let that shit happen.
Yeah.
Like never, like not in a million years should you let that shit happen to me. So I totally agree with him on the stance that he's doing. I do believe, like I said before, again, this is my opinion. You started this publicity stunt, and you didn't think the people that is going to pay the repercussions of it wasn't going to say anything about it. You were he was texting you. You were texting him. You were saying it was going to be cool, but you never said nothing in response to how they was talking about people.
GPS signal lost.
Like, I just don't understand it. Like, I grew up in an era of people used to say, if I fuck with you for real, and you tell me some shit about what a nigga said to you, what did you say to them?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I grew up in that era.
Mm-hmm.
If I say I defended you, I need to have that nigga need to say I defended you. If that nigga turn around and be like, nah, that nigga was shooting you down too. He said you was a bunch of bitch ass niggas and all that shit. That nigga told you what I said. Hey man, that nigga said the most.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't get that. I'm on that level. Like I feel Funky Dineva. Like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
nah, you gotta have my back on certain shit.
Mm-hmm.
You can't
Yeah.
you can't, and we seeing what I said. You seeing this motherfucker is doing like those subliminal shits where you want to talk about you want to talk some subliminal shit about motherfuckers. Like, I didn't do that shit to you, bitch. And I hate to be vulgar like that, but 100, like, I didn't do that shit to you.
Right, like you're doing too much at this point.
Yeah,
And,
you know I didn't do that shit.
right.
But you barely want to act like I did that, man. Come on, man. Fuck you, bitch, and the dick you rode on.
Mm-hmm. Right, and anybody would be mad because you really are collateral damage at this point, and this could be your livelihood. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they had, you know, in their text exchange or whatnot, when he started like popping off on her, it's her PR, it's other people in the crew talking about, please don't do this, please don't do that, blah, blah, blah. And she's up there saying, this is my career. Okay. And he replied, this is my life. Like, do you understand? You keeping quiet, you not clearing this up could fuck up my life. She can have an obsessed fan see him out somewhere and step to him over some BS that you are not trying to clear up. Nobody's saying that you put it out there. Nobody's saying that you put it out there. But a simple story on Instagram could clear all of this up, and you are choosing to not do it. Exactly. And that post that you were reluctant to put up, he accepted it, but a lot of people didn't because it was some bullshit for real. At the end of the day, she lacks accountability and she's not a good friend. And that's just what it is. Now, the girl, as far as her talent is concerned, she's TV gold and she can sing down. But as far as your integrity as a person and as a friend, you're flawed. Period. And this is showing it. 100%.
Yeah. You can't even fake that. No.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad that you're really doing this. And for what? For a EP that probably ain't that good, that I more than likely I won't listen to.
I don't, I just think she comes from a family where, I mean, at the most overseas and all that, she'll sell hundreds of thousands of copies worldwide. I just don't believe that she is something that the American audience cares about.
Not no more.
You know what I'm saying? And it's you can be fine with that. You gotta be fine with that. Especially if you're making money. Cause like, you think Lionel Richie gave a fuck about that? Like, stop doing shit that, you know what I'm saying, that just controversy. Like, that's the problem with a lot of celebrities in America. They forget that it's a whole world out there that you can fuck with. Stop trying to be in here doing whatever is going to get the next clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
Why people love Deborah Cox so much is Deborah Cox will go all overseas with some same shit that you heard from 1996.
Right.
And she'll go everywhere with it and make a techno version and then make a version for techno LGBTQ people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and still ride on that to this day.
Right.
It makes millions.
Yeah.
And it's not because she don't give a fuck about controversy.
Yeah. You're right.
It's like, what are we doing? Like, we have forgot, like, especially Tamar. You are a Braxton. Like, that means that name means something. I get that you don't know it. You don't know it means something because y'all didn't come from certain things. Like, we all get on that level of we didn't come from certain things. But y'all have made certain provisions for that name. So that name means something now.
Yeah.
You got to respect that.
Right.
You got to respect. Y'all got children. Those children got children. All this shit. The Braxton name should be held in high regards.
Mm-hmm.
Stop trying to do some shit on some petty shit.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. It's just a rumor that grew legs and arm and a torso. And it could have easily be put to rest, and the person that can put it to rest is choosing not to and turn into something way worse. And from what I understand now, she didn't cancel the whole rollout of this new music that she had and this short film and whatnot because of this situation, which probably is a good idea because you're not coming out in a good light.
Right. That was the best thing for you. But like,
Yeah.
nobody wants. Come on, man. You doing Jussie Smollett divided by 10.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Times 10, not.
nah, because you taking a downplay. Because like,
You think so?
yeah, you taking a downplay to this. Because it's like, you trying to make it seem like you ain't even saying it's an assault. You saying it's a medical emergency. Fuck out of here with this shit.
Yeah.
Like, are we not paying attention to a lot of these niggas? Forget all of these niggas that we are talking about. At one point, they looked themselves in the mirror and said, "I'm not black. I'm OJ."
Mm-hmm.
Because that's why they're playing this game.
Yeah.
Because they watch people play it and win, but you forget that you are not a part of their community or the hue.
Yeah.
But you watching them do it and y'all think y'all can do the same thing. That's the problem.
Right.
Like, come on, man. We were built off this. You got to work 10 times harder.
Yeah.
They always going to have a leg up.
Yeah.
So you got to work 10. You trying to work like they work. That's why they laughing at us.
Right.
Because now you can't do what I do. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you thought you was going to do that? Man, I forget the name of the movie, but the name of the movie, it was a scene in this movie where certain shit was made, and so dude thought he can come in the room, and he was like, "What are you doing?" He was like, "Nah, I did blah, 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 blah." And he looked that man dead in the face, and he said, "You think I let dogs eat at the dinner table?"
Mm.
It's like, I get it. You did cool. But you wait. You gotta wait. Like, don't sit out there and wait for us to come out. Dogs don't eat at the dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
You thought you could eat at the dinner table. You're crazy. You're crazy. That's not how it works yet, because we ain't unified enough for that.
Right. Agreed. Agreed. But you know, that is Tamar Braxton and Funky Dineva. Of course, unfortunately this is ongoing. So if there's any big updates, we'll talk about it next week. Um as far as my final thought, I do have a final thought, which is real quick. I am just asking for prayers because I did return to school after a 15-year hiatus. And whew, that's a long ass 15-year gap. So I'm just asking for prayers because this is a long journey I'm going towards. But I'm gonna do it. There's I'm not stopping. So but yeah, just pray for me. Just pray for me.
I got you.
Yeah.
We gonna pray
So
for you.
appreciate it. So yes, Jerry's final thought. Take it away.
Jerry's final thought. I'm gonna make it real short and simple because we're gonna end this at 3 hours. We're at 2:51. But I'll say this because I ain't gonna talk about anything that we talked about. What I'll just say is actually my final thought. We have to stop as a human race making things normal. Listen, you got weird people out here. People are weird. That is just what it is. Stop trying to make it seem like that is the thing to do. Stop putting on the internet that it is cool to be a socially awkward white man that thinks he's a dragon. Like, let's stop this shit. Let's stop this shit right now. Let's stop thinking that it is socially cool
Lord.
to make a black woman feel like she has to act like a cat-like person to get a game she wants. Y'all are fucked up with these fetishes, man. Like, y'all have to stop that. It is so much shit I'm seeing nowadays that is not the norm. Now, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but that has a niche and a certain fetish that it stays in. Stop making that shit available to I don't want to see this shit. And I'm sorry if I make people mad at what I say when I say this as my final thought. I don't want to know secretly like motherfucking black women to act like felines and walk around in leashes. I have a problem with knowing that. If that's your niche, that's your niche. Keep it in a certain level. This should not be available to the public. I just don't like it as a man. Sorry. It's just what y'all niches. Y'all gotta keep y'all niches to yourself. Like, you gotta stop it. I'm really hell bent on two things that I've seen that has been pushing through my Instagram, and I keep saying I keep blocking this shit, and it's funny because I look amongst a bunch of shit, so that's probably why they're doing that. But I get the nerd dude that thinks he's somebody, like he's a fucking dragon, or he's a goddamn raccoon hunter. Like, this nigga have a raccoon mask with like a gauge, and like, I don't know what the fuck is. And then you have these, and again, my black queens, whatever you decide to do, or my queens, period, whatever you decide to do is what you decide to do. I can't tell you how to live your life and make your money. But sometimes I don't want to see y'all get degraded. That's it. That's all. I don't want to see y'all get degraded. Whatever niche y'all got on that where y'all get degraded, y'all have to keep that out the public eye. But with my dudes, hey, listen, weirdo, like y'all gotta quit that shit. That shit is weird. Don't nobody move like that. Like no. Why do you got 1 million views? Cause you like, listen, if I'm a bad boy and I'm gonna stop you from dealing with anybody but the BBC, the Bad Boys Club. That ain't what it means, you nerd ass nigga. That ain't what it means. Get your weird ass the fuck up out of here and stop doing this bullshit.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's the internet is a wild place, and I don't like it. Just to be honest, I don't fucking like it, and I'm gonna address it like that. And my final thought is stop letting these weird ass niggas get the platforms. It's more niggas that got more inspiration and more talent and more things to actually tell you than this motherfucker to be like, I'm turning into a dragon. And you do this weird, man, stop.
I don't know what rabbit hole you go down.
Why do you think when I do certain shit for the podcast, like when I advertise, it be the weirdest shit? Because I find the weirdest shit, like, how does this shit got a million or 100,000 fucking views?
Yeah.
Who is watching this? And I download it so I can be like, this some bullshit. At the same time, I know I'm giving these niggas more views.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I got nothing. I don't.
It's just wild. This shit is dumb. I just seen some shit. I was like, should I download this? I was like, nah. It was just one nigga that was like, is this the dude that's bothering you? And no female there. Yeah, he's talking to himself. Is this the dude that's bothering you? And then he walks up to the camera and he goes, like he growls. Like, I'm like, nigga, that's gonna get you beat the fuck up.
Right.
What are we talking about?
Have you seen that one video of the Michael Jackson impersonator? And it looked like he's at some like senior retirement home doing it. And I want to say it's Dirty Diana, but he like flips across the floor. And then the person that's recording him, when he gets up, he's like this close. So it is like so funny because he's so serious and he's like, it's so funny. I seen it about 5 times, about 5 separate times. I'm like, this is so stupid. Oh my god! But like, yeah, he flips, and then he's like,
you know what? It would have been a real shit. And like, if that was me, I'd have been like, Michael Jackson don't flip though. Nigga. Right. Michael Jackson has never flipped in a goddamn concert or a fucking stage. Like, fuck are you doing? Get the fuck out of my fucking view.
Right. It's not even real flip. It's just like a roll. Like, he just rolled across the stage. It is so funny.
And Michael has never done that. Like, get your weird ass the fuck away from me.
Yeah, it's so funny. I'm
a Michael Jackson fan, so nigga, don't look at me like I'm disrespecting. Get your monkey ass the fuck away from me.
Oh man, it's so funny. But but that's
Yeah, that's my final. Like, come on, man, we gotta put weird niggas where they need to be. And I'm not saying weird niggas can't make no money off the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, in a world where they follow us and Big Brother watches everything we do, you know I don't need to see this shit. Shit away from me. I'm not the one that want to see this shit. Send that shit to somebody that want to see it. Like, nigga, I be wanting to watch gardens and how to build out the grid shit and people that farm, and all of a sudden I get this. I'm a bad boy. Get this weird shit off my timeline, man.
Yeah, your algorithm is so screwed.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna make you scared of the BBC. Nigga, you were, first of all, white guy, you were saying it wrong. Secondly, the BBC was created to not let anybody fear it but want it. The fuck are you talking about? But as always, take care of yourself and others. Like, what the fuck?
Well, thank you for Jerry's final thought. So yeah, this is episode 173 of the Ish We Talk, and we will see you guys for episode 174. Bye.
Exactly.